Hey everybody, Chris here. In this video, I'm going to talk about Dogecoin's next move. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel, hit that little notification bell too. You can be notified when my new videos come out, as well as when I do live streams. It is the day before Thanksgiving here on Wednesday, and right now we had the jobless claims, new jobless claims came out this morning, and it's less than it was last month. So that just puts a little bit more doubt into whether the Fed is going to cut interest rates in December or not. Here we go again through this whole deal month after month after month. Right now, the price has not accelerated, thinking that we had a relief rally going on, and we'll show that as well on the charts. Went over that yesterday more in detail during our Tuesday live stream, but I'll give you a little peek at that in this video as well. We also have exciting news about the next Dogecoin ETF, which is launching today. That's right. And we've got some figures in from the Grayscale Dogecoin ETF that I've been tracking, and I'll show you that as well in this video. So let's get into it. Let me show you the charts and the news. I'll show you what I'm looking at. And we start here looking at the current Dogecoin chart, just over 15 cents. It was kind of drifting down early this morning, but then we had not a bad jobs report. And so we've got some green coming up in the crypto market. We've got Bitcoin trying to reclaim 87,000, which was up here almost 88,000 last night, but there was just overnight, there was just some fallback. So looks like it could be a green Wednesday. We will watch that going forward. Right now, we look at Bitcoin and it's just like, Gel's like, bounce, you piece of shit coin. This is the Bitcoin chart. It's just like, come on. Are we going to do another bounce or not? Where is this going to go from here? Titan of Crypto says, look, there's Bitcoin. 4 charts to watch. As I told you recently, my bias is now 80% bearish, 20% bullish. I'm just like, pick a lane, dude. Pick a lane, right? I've already turned bear. I mean, I told you guys that. Somebody in the comments was just like, oh, you're a permabull. And I'm like, have you been watching me lately? Like, really? Have you been watching me lately? What happens next depends on these 4 key charts. If these levels break, downside expands. If they hold, the market keeps a real chance for relief. But that's the key word, is relief. And we see in previous ends of bull markets, right, as we flip into the bear, there's always a little relief rally and gives people hope. Oh yeah, we're going to go higher, we're going to go higher. And then it ends up dropping lower. That is how relief rallies work. So first chart here, looking at market structure. I mean, this is just a line, right? You know, what was at the last bull rally in 2021 ends up being resistance. We hit it resistance again here early 2024, and then it becomes support here early 2025, and now here we are presently. So if we even have a relief rally here, it could definitely lead to a big pullback. I mean, here we look back at early 2022, right? Bitcoin dropped down, and what happened? It came up, right? Relief rally right there, and then dropped lower. That's typically what we see. Chart number 2 is a confluence. Another line here on the support side. Do we have a fair value gap right here that is going to break? Again, most likely you would see a relief rally bounce off and then go lower. Let's look at his third chart here, looking at market structure. A straight line, key level. Of course, mine I will show you, which is more the moving averages, but if you want to draw a straight line across, what used to be resistance becomes support, and now we are threatening that again, is the third chart, and here is the fourth, which are fib lines. He doesn't even show all his fib lines. It's like where he struck this from and what this looks like. It's just a random blue line across, according to me. Like, hey, you make the fib lines match whatever you want. That's what I look at, and this is none of that. If I look at my Bitcoin chart, again, this is what we showed in the live stream yesterday, is we zoom out to the weekly and we look at our moving averages. This is the 50-week moving average here in blue, right? We had 2 red weekly candles closed below that 50-week moving average, confirmed the bear bias. And so now the indecision of what do we do here with this little weekly candle? It can't even make up its mind if it wants to be green or wants to be red. We would see a relief rally come up, and then we would see the full bear play out. And of course, the yellow line is how Bitcoin would probably actually trade up and down and not just straight down. And where is the target? The target is this yellow line right here. And what is that yellow line? That is the 200-week moving average. We've seen this before. If that continues up and there is an intersection, possibly summer of 2026, that would be around $60,000. So that is the bear market target for the cycle. It could end up taking longer. It could come shorter depending on news, but that is the general bias on the trend right there, looking at Bitcoin. What does this mean for Dogecoin? It means Dogecoin could follow Bitcoin with the same kind of structure. Dogecoin's own 200-week moving average, we're not that far from it, but we would break through that percentage-wise if there was a full bear on Bitcoin. But we always have this, and this is the wild card for Dogecoin, and that would be a catalyst, and that catalyst could be like X money launching, even though Dogecoin probably wouldn't be on it. Just the thought that Dogecoin might be at some point in time in the future would give a pump for Dogecoin. So that's the big green arrow here, but most likely without that, we would follow this white trend down. So, and I still keep my magnet up here at 30 cents just to try and help pull Dogecoin up, but it is still trying to get back into the red box, which is at 15.4. And again, 15.4 is where Dogecoin hit that line twice now. That's right. Last night, right after my live stream, Doge traded up to about 15.5, but couldn't hold the red box, traded below, and we had hit that again here on Monday as well. So now we have a little short-term double top happening, and we could look at it again. Join in my next live stream Wednesday afternoon. Make sure that you're subscribed and you have your notifications on so you're sure to not miss the notification if YouTube is good about sending out notifications, which it hasn't been lately. So you can join in on that live. So what does that mean for us now? Well, a trader Alan is like, look, another look at Bitcoin could be this hidden bullish divergence, which we have seen 3 times during this bull market, bull run rally for Bitcoin. But eventually this breaks down and it just goes the other way. And so will this be that next bounce up, or does this fail? CryptoZaros says, look, MicroStrategy. What's happening with Look at the big drop in MicroStrategy, right? Bitcoin drop, but MicroStrategy even more. A Bitcoin treasury company. You know, Michael Saylor says, look, we do other stuff too. We're solvent, we're fine, but everybody's piling in and really dumping MicroStrategy stock. Michael Saylor keeps saying, hey, we're going to join the S&P 500, blah, 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 blah. That may not happen. So what does this mean about a treasury company? Well, we know what happened with Zone, right? Which is the Dogecoin treasury company partnered with the House of Doge and like all of that. And the huge dump that happened for the Zone stock was in the 40s, came all the way down into the 30s, bottomed at like 26, 25 cents, starting to get a little recovery. Was that the bottom? I mean, that's just, the stock is just killed, just absolutely killed. I mean, if you bought it 25, 26 cents, awesome. You may get some money out of this. I'm still holding mine, but it's like $1.70 I bought. I'm just way, way down on this. But if there is a big, huge run because of some giant catalyst for Dogecoin, you would expect the Zone stock to go up as well. But I fear that if we are truly going into a bear market, this stock is not going to recover much. Take a quick look at Bitcoin dominance. It's kind of teetering on the edge here. Will there be an altcoin season? I don't think so. Altcoin season loading. I mean, these are the permabulls here, of which Chris is not. But this is what others are saying here. And it's just like, yeah, go follow these guys if you want some hopium. But I've always said there's not going to be a real altcoin season this cycle. And I've been pretty good about that. I thought that would be a half alt season and we'd see some down maybe to 50%, as I've said many, many times, which were the top of these little these wicks here that we had. And maybe we'll get part of that, which will get everybody all excited about alt season. Dogecoin Fear and Greed Index has ticked up again, a little bit higher at 29, still slightly in the fear range. But if we get a nice little relief rally going, hey, maybe over Thanksgiving, right? The equities markets are closed, right? We won't have Jane Street. We won't have others like dumping. So maybe we get a little bit of some nice green on Dogecoin and crypto for Thanksgiving. So we'll be watching that. Also, make sure that on Thanksgiving, again, we're going to be posting on the CryptoTab YouTube community pictures of our Thanksgiving plates, Thanksgiving tables in the United States, so those around the world can see what plates of turkey or duck, we're having duck, like whatever you're having, right? Post it on the YouTube community. We want to see that. We want to see what that looks like. Of course, you have to be subscribed to the channel in order to post a picture, but do check that out. So we looked at this yesterday. This is Trader Alan's new look at this sort of mini breakout on the 4-hour chart from the downward sloping resistance line that Dogecoin structurally looks like it is beginning a relief rally. So we are watching that. And he also has this interesting look at, if you overlay, right, the psychology of a market cycle with the Dogecoin price, I mean, it looks like December 2024, following the Trump election and Elon with Doge, the Department of Government Efficiency, and all that Dogecoin mania, where Doge went up to 48 cents. Maybe that was euphoria right there. That was the top of the peak, and this is this mini bear market here that we've had for Dogecoin. Fear of tariffs, like all of that happened. And then we bounced around. We started getting this rally coming up into October, but then October 10th, we had the flash crash and all of the negativity. So there's our bottom, 2025 bottom. That could be the bottom of a bear market, of a mini bear market. And now we're in depression, right? My retirement money is lost. How can we pay for all this new stuff? I'm an idiot, right? That's the depression. It's kind of how a lot of people are feeling now. Kind of interesting. Do we get a little disbelief and a suckers rally? Again, that would be the relief rally, right? Would be that. So we'll be watching that. Interesting overlay that Alan had there. Meanwhile, today, Wednesday, day before Thanksgiving, the Bitwise Dogecoin Spot ETF is going to start trading. And there was talk about, well, what happened to Grayscale? And there was like no inflows. Well, that was Monday. And again, there was trading, but there wasn't a big positive net on the Dogecoin ETF. There was some, but Grayscale doesn't have to buy every day, right? There's something in their T's and C's, like how much or how often in a span of time they need to actually buy the Doge to back up the trading on the ETF. And we look at the dashboard and we find out that GDOG, the Grayscale spot ETF, had $1.8 million. It's a start, right? It is a start. Other ETFs started slow as well. It wasn't negative, right? Which is how ETH started. Remember how the ETH one started? Again, this was a transition from the futures trust to a spot ETF. So 1.8 to start. And I will continue tracking this. And here's BWOW, right? The Bitwise ETF BWOW is starting today. So I will continue to update you on that as well. That's pretty exciting. Pretty exciting that is now a real thing, a Dogecoin spot ETF. Now 2 of them. Now we had the other Rex Osprey one, but that wasn't the true, S3 or S1 filing, right? They kind of skirted the other way. Isn't a true 1-to-1 Dogecoin to ETF assets. So we don't even talk about the Rex Osprey one much. I mean, they don't even put it on this chart. So we're going to be looking at Grayscale and Bitwise, and there will be a 21 shares one that will join in at some point in time. And we will follow that as well. That will show up on here soon. Don't know exactly when, but that's exciting news for Doge. Are we going to have institutions buying Dogecoin ETFs, probably not. This is going to be a minor thing. I mean, there's a lot more XRP because XRP is like this banker's crypto or whatever. We can compare that during live streams if you want to look at it. I'm not going to dwell on that much. But it is exciting for a meme coin to have its own spot ETF, and that's all exciting. So let me know in the comments below, what do you think about Dogecoin's next move? You heard what I said. What do you say? Give the video a like, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate the support. We'll see you next time.